Welcome to lesson 1 of Microsoft PowerPoint for beginners. In this tutorial session, we are going to look at how to create a good and interactive PowerPoint as beginners. So we are going to go through in this tutorial session, we are going to look at how to create a good and interactive PowerPoint as beginners. So we are going to start with what PowerPoint is. Then we will familiarize ourselves with the MS PowerPoint interface. We are going to look at working with slides, themes, transitions, animation, and so on and so forth. My name is Enoch Shadrach Kujo, and I am going to be your instructor for the entire session. On today's agenda, we're going to look at what is PowerPoint. From there, we will look at the use and purpose of PowerPoint. Then we'll also look at some few PowerPoint rules. From there, we will look at launching Microsoft PowerPoint. After we've launched PowerPoint, we will get to familiarize ourselves with the interface, that is, knowing the interface. And then the last thing we will do on this lesson or on today's agenda is get to know some shortcut keys for Microsoft PowerPoint. So without wasting any time, let's get right onto it. What is Microsoft PowerPoint? Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation program that allows the user to design and develop a professional and interactive presentation and present it to the target audience. Now, the underlined word here is professional and interactive. You can't just design any PowerPoint and then go and present it to whoever you're going to present. I'm very sure if it is not professional enough and it is not interactive, your target audience will be bored to death. So in designing a PowerPoint, it has to be more professional and it has to be very interactive as well. The use and purpose of PowerPoint. The purpose of Microsoft PowerPoint is to allow users present their ideas and knowledge in the pictorial form by adding charts, shapes, pictures, video, audio, and so on and so forth. So that is the main purpose of Microsoft PowerPoint. What we are seeking to achieve here is that whatever idea we have, we want to be able to present, to show it to our audience. In view of that, Microsoft PowerPoint is going to help us write down or type whatever we have in our mind. If it needs visual prowess, we add that to it. If it needs visual audio, if it needs video, if it needs charts, so as to make our presentation more and more clear to the target audience or to our audience that we are presenting to. Some PowerPoint rules. Now, the first rule we are going to talk about, that's rule number 1. It says stick to the 555 rule. Now, when it comes to the 555 rule, the first 5 is for the number of texts you are going to have per line. So the 555 rule states that you should try your possible best to have just 5 texts on a particular line. The second 5 is for the number of lines you can have per slide. So you try your very best to have just 5 lines of text or sentences on a particular slide. And then the last 5 is for the number of text heavy slides that you should have in a row. Now the rule goes ahead to tell us not to have more than 5 text heavy consecutive slides in a row. So assuming you have slide 1 to be text heavy, slide 2 text heavy, slide 3 text heavy, it should probably end there. You shouldn't continue to slide 4, 5 and then even exceed to slide 6 and so on and so forth. The maximum text heavy slides, you should have S for it's just 5 slides in a row. That will not bore you, that will not bore your audience to death. Rule number 2 talks about contrast. So here we are trying to talk about our text being as readable as possible. There is a whole view for us to type whatever you want to type over there clearly and readable for your audience to be able to see whatever you are presenting. So you don't have to type your text very small and then hide it in one corner so that your audience would have to strain their eyes before they see what you are presenting. No. The next point talks about text and then background. So you have to be very careful with the background that you use or the theme that you choose, and then the text that will go on it. So a simple black and white will do. So you can have a white background like I have here, and then with black text on it, or the vice versa. You can have a black background and then a white text on it. Then we go to rule number 3, which says consistency and simplicity. So we don't want to bore our audience with loads of text on our slides for presentation. So we have to stay consistent. We have to choose one consistent theme throughout the entire PowerPoint presentation. You don't have to have a different theme for slide 1. When you go to slide 6, there's a different theme. When you go to slide 9, there's a different theme. It tends to distract the audience. It sways their mind off what you're trying to present to them. And then the colors as well. If you're choosing white and black throughout, use white and black, unless of course you want to pinpoint some particular points, you want to highlight some particular stuff, that you can use a different color, but for the rest you have to stay consistent with the colors. And then your font style should be simple and readable. You don't have to go and pick a stylish font which you would have used for designing maybe a birthday card or a wedding invitation or something. No, you are presenting an idea and you need your audience to read and then understand what you are presenting. So your sentences, your text, it should be simple and straightforward so that your audience will be able to read them as possible. So all these 3 rules coming together, we are going to apply them in the PowerPoint that we are going to be created in the next in the following lessons to come. So we are going to make sure that we follow the rules so that our PowerPoint will be as professional and interactive and clear as possible. All right, now we move on to launching PowerPoint. There are 3 different ways that you can launch Microsoft PowerPoint. The first one is to launch it from the desktop. Now this is optional. It's optional because some machines or some computers have Microsoft PowerPoint shortcuts on their desktop. So only if you have a shortcut on your desktop, that's when this particular option is available to you. So when you have the shortcut on the desktop, you just go there, you right click on it and then click on open, and then it will launch, or you just double click on it and then it will launch. We'll get to go through all that when we start with the practical aspect. Number 2 is launching from the taskbar. Again, that one is also optional. When you open Microsoft PowerPoint for the first time, you can pin the icon to the taskbar, and then when you do that, the next time you want to launch Microsoft PowerPoint, you just go to the taskbar, you click on it, and then it will open. Okay, the last option is launching from the Windows menu. So when you install Microsoft Office, all the programs that comes with it goes to the Windows menu. So when you want to launch Microsoft PowerPoint, you just click on the start menu or the Windows button, all the programs that you've installed on your computer will appear. You scroll down or you scroll through to find Microsoft PowerPoint. You click on it and then it will open. So these are the three main options that we have when launching Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, after clicking on the program and then opening it, it takes you to the first page which we call the startup page. So this is how the startup page looks like. Now it's divided into two sections, the left hand side and then the right hand side. The left hand side displays all the recent PowerPoint presentations that you've created, and then the right hand side displays all the templates that you can choose from. So we have some already designed templates in there. If you want to use any of them, you just go ahead and click on it, and then we have a blank presentation which will allow you to create your presentation from scratch. After clicking on any of the templates, it brings you to the main interface. So this is how the main interface looks like. Now I've taken time to label the main interface with numbers, so we are going to go ahead and look at the names of all the parts that I've labeled. So number 1, we have title bar. Number 2, we have control box. Number 3, quick access toolbar. Number 4 is ribbon. Number 5, slide outline pane. Number 6 is slide pane. Number 7, we have the note pane. Number 8, status bar. Number 9, view bar. Number 10, zoom control. And number 11 is file tab. So let's quickly go and then see what they look like, where they can be found, and what they are capable or what they are used for or their functions. So the first one is the title bar. Now the title bar is located at the topmost part of the interface, the middle section. So at the right side of the topmost part is the control box, the left side is our quick access toolbar. So the middle portion where you have presentation 1-PowerPoint on that particular bar, that's where our title bar is located, and then it is used to display, or it displays the title or the name of the document that you're working on. So we are seeing presentation 1-PowerPoint because we haven't saved our document yet. But if we saved our document with, let's say, lesson 1, then presentation 1 would now change to what, lesson 1-PowerPoint. So that is the title bar. The next one is the control box. That's number 2. So this is how the control box looks like. We have the minimize, the maximize, and then the close buttons over there. It is located at the top right corner of the interface, and then it contains the minimize, maximize, and close buttons, which is used to minimize, maximize, or close the application or the program respectively. So that's control box. Number 3, we have quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar is located at the top left corner of the interface. Now we are going strictly according to the interface that I showed in the previous slide. So with that, the quick access toolbar is located at the top left corner. Now the quick access toolbar is movable, so you can move it from the top left corner to the to below the ribbon. It is movable, so it doesn't matter which interface you are looking at. It can be at different position. Now the quick access toolbar allows you to add icons that you use frequently onto it, so that when you are looking to use that particular icon, you don't go through the hassle of clicking on different tabs and then moving through it. You can just go straight to the quick access toolbar, click on it, and then that command will take effect. So that is the quick access toolbar, and then it can also be moved just as I said earlier. Then number 4 is ribbon. So this whole portion here, this whole portion that we have here is our ribbon. Now the ribbon is located right below the title bar, just as I have it over here. All this portion is the ribbon. So the ribbon consists of tabs and commands. The tabs include home, insert, design, transition, animation, and etc. So when you look on the image that we have here, so after animation you will see slideshow, review, view, storyboarding, and so on. So these are the tabs that we are talking about. And when you come right below the tabs, we have the commands. So the commands are these icons that we have here. All the icons over there are the commands. Now again, with a ribbon, the commands are then put into groups. So when you look closely to the image that we have here, you realize that some of the commands have lines separating them. All right, so these are the groups. So every line that you see is the demarcation, the group demarcation. So we have different types of groups here. When you go to the home tab, we have clipboard, slides, fonts, paragraph, drawing, and so on and so forth. So these are the groups that we have with a ribbon. All right, so that is for the ribbon. The next one is the slide outline pane. The slide outline pane is located below the ribbon, the left portion of the interface. So that is where all the slides that you're working on are outlined. So slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4. You can see them outlined over here. So if you add another slide, which is slide 6, then it shows in the outline pane. If you delete a slide, it disappears from the outline pane. So it displays all the slides included in the presentation in a tile form, so that the user can easily switch from one slide to. So you can just come to the slide outline pane. If you want to switch from slide 1 to slide 5, you can just come here and click on slide 5, and then it will move. You don't have to press down till you get to that particular slide. 6 is the slide pane. The slide pane, that is where our works begin. So it is the widest portion of the interface located below the ribbon. So that's where we do it's also the working area where users can type, edit, format, and insert other files. So as you can see, it displays the current slide that you are working on. So this here is the slide that we are working on. So you can see here it says click to add title. When you click on this, is actually a text box, and this is also a text box. So you can click here, type your title, click on this one, add your subtitle, and then whichever, if you want to insert a picture, chart, whatever you want to insert, you can go ahead and do that. So that is our slide pane. That's where we actually do we type whatever we want to type. Yeah. Number 7 is note pane. Note pane. So this is how the note pane looks like. It is located below the working area or the slide pane of the interface. So it allows the user to add or type notes relating to a particular point on the particular slide. So if you are working on slide 1, and then slide 1 consists of just bullets, and yet during your presentation you have notes that you want to read to your audience, you don't have to type all the notes on the slide. You can just put points on the slide or bullets on the slide and type whatever you want at the notes area. Next up is status bar. That's number 8. So the status bar is located at the bottom left corner of the interface, right below the slide outline pane. It displays the current slide and the total number of slides in the presentation. So for example, if you have slide 1 of 12, then the first number is for the current slide that you're working on, and then the second number is for the total number of slides that you have in your presentation. So slide 1 of 12 means that Currently you are working on slide 1, but then you have a total of 12 slides in your presentation. If you have slide 8 of 16, it means currently you are working on slide 8, but you have a total of 16 slides in your presentation. So the status bar helps us to keep track of the current slide and then the total number of slides that we have. Number 9, we have view bar. So this is how the view bar looks like. We have 4 different types of views that we can switch or toggle between. It is located at the bottom right corner of the interface below the notes pane. It allows the user to switch between different views of slides. The views include normal view, slide sorter, reading view, and then the slideshow, which we are currently using. So currently we are using the slideshow. So these are the different types of views that the view bar allows us to toggle between. Number 10, we have zoom control. So the zoom control is located right beside the view bar. It's located at the bottom right corner of the interface below the notes pane. So that's right beside the view bar. It allows the user to zoom in or zoom out the slide pane. So you can make your slide pane bigger or smaller. If you think it's smaller, you can make it bigger. If you think it's bigger, you can make it smaller. So that's the function of the zoom control. And then last but not the least, we have the file tab. So the file tab is the first tab on the ribbon, right below the quick access toolbar, or right on top of the quick access toolbar. That's if your quick access toolbar is below the ribbon. And then when you click on it, it displays the basic file management commands such as info, new, open, save, save as, print, and then close. So this here is our file management commands that we are talking about. So when you click on the file tab, it brings you here, which we call the backstage view. We'll take a look at that when we in our next lesson, when we are going to talk about basic file management commands. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the interface. So before we end this particular lesson, we're going to take a look at some shortcut keys that we have in Microsoft PowerPoint. So the first one is Ctrl+O, which allows user to open a presentation. We have Ctrl+N, allow user to create a new presentation. Ctrl+S allows the user to save the presentation. Ctrl+P allows the user to print the presentation. Ctrl+B allows the user to bolden a selected font. Ctrl+I allows user to italize a selected font. Ctrl+U for underlining a font. We also have Ctrl+C, which is used to copy. Ctrl+X used to cut. Ctrl+V used to paste. Ctrl+Home moves the user to the first slide of the presentation. Ctrl+ the end key moves the user to the very last slide of the presentation. So far so good. Now we've come to the end of today's lesson. So on our next lesson agenda, we have basic file management commands, and then we will explore the home tab. So these are the two things that we're going to do, God willing, in our next lesson. So thank you for sticking with us. Please don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. If you like the lesson, just click on the like button. If you dislike, click on it and then leave your comments. I'll make sure to read your comments and then reply them. Thank you for being with us. Catch you on the next lesson.